How's this now, huh? How's this? How you like this now, huh? Yeah, that's right, I did it! That's right! That's right, I did it! That's right, who do you think you are? I am! That's right. Oh, baby. No one thought I could do it. Everyone went back to bed. Guess what? Stream's on, baby! Yeah!
This is why I don't respect streamers.
I wasn't gonna get out of today without doing some gosh doodly darn streaming. Hello, friends! It's on! It's on! It actually is on this time, for reals. Alright, how y'all doing today? Hi Fatally, hi Peter, hi Ronnie! New phone, who this? Oh, you've got no idea. Oh, fellas. Yo, hi Chippy! Hello, friends. I'm so happy that I'm actually here. I'm alive, I made it! Ah! Okay, I'm fine. Anyone fueled like the timeline reset? Could you imagine? I figured it all out. No. I figured out the tech issues I was having. Stream is back on, baby. There you go. And then quote that shit. There you go. Peter in chat says, it's a funny story. I've been playing RimWorld earlier when I waited for the stream to start, and I forgot I had a mod that adds SpongeBob music to the game, and I thought the stream started. Is that an own? Is that? Am I being owned? Chat, am I being owned? Hello, everyone. How y'all doing today? It's 11 a.m. in Southern California. What do you mean it's 12:09 p.m. a.m. p.m.? You are? I am? Hello, everyone. I am your navigator, Maxi, also known as Kirin. Hello, everyone. Hello. Oh, you know what? I know what the problem is. The problem is that I haven't had my capture software on the whole time. There we go. That's much better. I think that's much better. How's this? Wait. Better? Better? Perhaps better? Strangely enough, my lip movement is not as good as I would like it. What's up with that? Can you ever abandon OBS for too long? Yeah, see, my mistake was... Okay, Vinian, you can't do this to me, Vinian. Oh, you know what it is? I know what it is. Vinian doesn't know which microphone I'm supposed to be using. That's what it is. There you go. How about this now, huh? No? Oh, there you go. How about this now? There we go. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know anything about computers. And then I'm like, oh, I bet this is what the problem is. Fellas in chat. If you can accurately guess what the problem with my connection was, I will make your Satamon canon and I will put it in the game. Go. You must specifically name the culprit behind the technical difficulties today. If you can accurately guess the culprit, was it because of a cat? No. It was not a cat. OBS? No. Expired stream key? It actually booted me out before the stream started. Yanto? No. Was it you all along? Could you imagine? Evil Maxi? It was me the whole time. Trust nobody, not even yourself?
This is why I don't respect streamers.
People who mess with their computer will know this. Windows Update. It is partially Windows Update. That is not the full answer, unfortunately. The full answer is a little piece of software called Killer Network Center. Killer Network Control / Center is a fucked up app that Windows installs automatically that fucks up your network. It does nothing. It literally serves no purpose other than to throttle your service. So accurately to its name, whoever has it has to kill it. That's what it is. It reinstalled itself. Maxi, instead of canceling the stream when they're not feeling well, I'ma pull a masterful gambit. Could you imagine? The correct answer for the day was Killer Network Service. I should be safe to open this. Hello everyone, how y'all doing today? Hello, my name is Maxi, my pronouns are they them. Hello, welcome to this unfortunate stream. But we're back, I'm back. Oh man, oh my god, this document is so big. This document is so big. Hello, how y'all doing today? Roll call. Hi May, hi Dale, hi Peter, hi Fate Leaf, hi Ronnie, hi Chippy. There we go. Hello, friendos. Thank you for joining me today, and I'm very, very sorry for the technical difficulties. Will we be doing dailies afterwards? We will be doing dailies. We will be doing dailies today, don't you worry. Let me double make sure. The camera doesn't look super right, but I've also not streamed for like a hot minute, so... So how you doing? I emerged from the web dev void with love and sparkles. Thank you, May. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. Hi Erasmo, welcome in.
Welcome back.
Alright, so how am I doing today? I'm doing great. I definitely didn't just have technical difficulties. Chippy says I've got the pain disease still, but I have deadlines regardless. Yeah, I get you. So welcome to the stream. I think Ronnie streams at 2, so this might just be a 2-hour stream anyways. Nonetheless, welcome! Hello! It's been a little bit since we last chatted. So let me hit you with the catch-up. What have I been up to lately? Well, in case you missed it, lately I've been spending time with my good friend Nomiya Vikshi. Nomi and I have been playing stuff, namely Chrono Trigger on Nomiya's channel. I leaned away from doing some Satamon streams, primarily because I've been doing a lot of iterating off stream. Yo, I'm back! Hi Kendra! Hey boy!
Hey boy!
I am back up. No one can hold me down. So... in case you're wondering, Maxi, why hasn't there been Satamon on stream? In part is because Nomiya's going on a slight little hiatus because Nomiya's going back to school. Do I have the meme on here? I don't have it on here. I do have this meme on. I have this on my downloads. I don't know why this is on my downloads though. Who made this? Let me go to pictures, memes. Where did I put my memes? Hey, there is the memes, and now I have to find the Nomiya meme. Where did I leave that Nomiya meme? It's in here somewhere. What is this? What is this ancient meme? That's a pretty ancient meme. Where did I leave that Nomiya one though? I had it here a second ago. I made a hilarious Nomiya meme, and now I appear to have misplaced it. Unless it's here. The tricycle? No, it's not the tricycle. Let me go grab it from the server real quick. There it is. Open link, please. There we go. I said open link, please. There we go. Chat, Nomi is freaking dead. Huh? Dead serious about getting a higher education. So yeah, Nomi is going back to school. And I wanted to, if there was time to spend with Nomi, I wanted to spend it because I very much love my friend. And also, I have been very busy at work with Sadamon. I've gone through a lot of iterating in the last little bit. And that's why I wasn't comfortable working on Sadamon on the stream. I thought you hated me? I don't hate you, Ronnie. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Ronnie? I love Ronnie the most. I love Ronnie so much that I'm not gonna step on Ronnie's toast. Ronnie's streaming at 2. The stream ends at 2. Hime! Hi, Hime! Hi, Hime! Hi, Hime. Hi, hello. Nobody tell Hime that the stream went up and down, like a goddamn roller coaster for the last hour or so. Nobody tell Hime that. Anyways, stream schedule, hello! This week is really simple. Today, Sadamon. Tomorrow, I'm playing that new word game that's like Bolacha but with words. It's called Wordplay. I believe it was actually made by the Game Maker's Toolkit guy. Can't get anything past you, huh, kids? Anyways, there we go. So that's the plan, and then of course the day after there's more Sadamon. Yes. So in case you don't know what the hell Sadamon is, I'm gonna tell you right now. Hello. Sadamon is my upcoming solo tabletop game, inspired by creature collectors, like the one that has this guy in it, and the one that has this guy in it, and even the one that has this guy in it. It is gonna be a game about you creating your own little creatures and fighting using a system not unlike that of fighting games. Hence the new aesthetic we're going for now. That's the plan right there. I'm a pacifist. Okay, I know Kendra's being contrarian the way that Kendra likes to be. And I'm like, of course Kendra wants to be contrarian. I mean, Kendra's got all these secrets, you know? Kendra's got all these secrets, and like, of course, you have to hold them close to your chest. Also, as we have established, Kendra lives in New York City, and New York City is a PvP zone. So, Kendra's always looking out for number one. I have spent time with Kendra in real life. Kendra's looking around like it's a BR, you know? Kendra's looking for loot. Kendra's looking for first place. Kendra will abandon you and everyone in the team. Kendra also has opinions on the brave little toaster. That's so true. We did learn that. I've been watching movies off stream. Off stream. I'm supposed to what? On stream? No one watches movies on stream. I've been watching movies off stream with my buds. And we discovered that Kendra has got some very specific, interesting opinions on the brave little toaster. Kendra says this is Kendra's lawyer and is issuing Chippy a cease and desist. Chippy, you don't have to listen to that. Chippy, as your lawyer, you don't have to listen to that. So the plan for today, catching up. We are currently doing that right now. Then Sadamon design, and then dailies. We will be doing dailies today because God knows I need some dailies in my life. A little bit of Game Doll in my life. A little bit of Quirtle in my life. A little bit of Pokedoku's all I need. A little bit of looking at grass and guessing which generation of consoles it's from is all I need. Maxi number 5, there you go. So the one thing, yeah, it's the only thing. I have been up and down, The last time that we checked in with each other, I was having a bad time with the art of the game. And this is where I want to begin catching up, by the way. So, I was having a bad time, and I realized that I was worrying so much about the art style and the aesthetic of Sadamon when the mechanics were not fully complete yet. So, after the last stream, I did what I always like to do, and what I always recommend everyone does if you're having a bad time. Stop! Stop! Stop. Slow down a minute, take a deep breath, and check in with yourself. So I took a minute, I realized, what can I spend my time on to best improve this game? Let's focus on the mechanics. The appearance of Sadamon and the art style, all that stuff can fluctuate. As long as the mechanics are good, literally nothing else matters. The art is always plus. I'm an aesthetics bitch. I'm an aesthetics girly. But even I will tell you, as long as the game plays good and it makes sense, the art is all plus. From there on, the art is plus. Oh my god, Kendra. I almost want to talk about... Okay, sidebar. Okay, so... please join me down here on the bottom right corner of the screen. Thank you for joining me. So, I recently got an email from someone trying to, like, strong-arm me with legalese about something that literally does not matter and does not involve me. And it was so funny. I shared it with the friends, and they were like, Lamau, this is so funny. Guy who isn't a lawyer, who has no legal, like, standing or anything, trying to send me legalese. It was really good. Also, hi Dallas, hello. Hi, you missed, you're currently in a sidebar, by the way. You missed all the technical difficulties. So yeah, it was really funny. I especially liked Kendra's answer. Was like, brother has nothing. Brother isn't even a lawyer, and this isn't a cease and desist. You don't have to answer to this. And I'm like, you're so right, Kendra. At last, Kendra watching so much gosh doodly darn cases finally did something. And yes, we'll be doing dailies. You're still zoomed in. Yeah, we were still in the sidebar. We're back now, though. Aww, Kendra says I turned off the case to be here today. Yeah, but you're gonna watch you're gonna catch the highlights though. Finally, that's something I'm attending training. Yeah. So for anybody who's wondering what Kendra's current storyline is that my good friend Kendra in chat, also known as Kendra PhD Purpleface, they are currently going through training to be a professional witness for, like, court cases, which is not witness. Stan, you want to be a professional jury? Anyways, Kendra's doing stuff, and I'm like, good for you, friend. Though, you know what? Court watcher, that's right. But who watches the court watchers? Other than that, I think this is a perfect time to catch up on the stuff that's been going on with Sadamon that all of you missed. What's new, Scooby-Mon? And then dog emoji, there we go. All the torts that would result from a kaiju, there you go. So, what are the things that are new in Sadamon that you did not know about? First and foremost, as I mentioned behind the scenes, there's been a lot of iterating behind the scenes. Like, I wasn't comfortable talking and sharing the thought process because I was going really damn fast. I would make a playtest, I would playtest it, I would move things around, I would update it, I would make a new playtest. Again, I'm iterating really fast, and that's the way that I like to do it. I like to move really fast. Not to reference, like, capitalism, but, like, you know, go fast and break things is perfectly fine way to go about designing a game. Perhaps not running a company, but a game, yeah, it works. So a couple things that the first one, top of the list of things that are changed. Previously on Satamon, Satamon had stats and skills. Previously, these were all just number values. Essentially, you know, you could have, for instance, you could have Crush 1 and Defense 1. Counterpoint, The Sims, there you go. So I made a slight change on this for a myriad of reasons that I don't particularly feel like going into depth with all of them. But essentially, I wanted a little bit more depth with the stat system. And I also wanted to make it clear at a glance the difference between stats. The way that stats work in fighting is that you check one stat versus the other. A move will ask you Crush versus Defense, Crush versus Evasion, or, you know, Slash versus Defense, Slash versus Recovery. Some stats target different defenses. Consider this a nice breakaway from the traditional concept of defense and special defense from Pokemon, perhaps. So I like there being 3 defense mechanisms, in part because it allows for flavorful moves. It makes sense that a projectile must be evaded. Thus, dodging a projectile is evasion. Blocking a hit is defense, and trying to not be overcome by a flamethrower / an earthquake / an enemy's taunt is recovery. How fast you can recover from being hit by this move. So the way that it worked previously is that it would be, you know, skill versus stat. And, you know, Crush 1 versus Defense 1. In the way that moves worked, if your skill did not exceed, if it did not go beyond the enemy's stat, you dealt no more damage. You didn't do additional damage. Hi, Kate. Hello, thank you for coming. I'm sorry about the technical difficulties. Now we're deep in game design. Now, what happens if your skill exceeds? So the rule of thumb is this: if skill exceeds, you get extra damage. Essentially, the move becomes what is known as an EX move. EX moves deal much more damage, and also, if you're hit by an EX damage or an EX move, and you haven't gone, your move is cancelled. Don't get hit by EX moves. That's the number 1 of today, by the way. Oh no, yeah, Kate, I figured it out. It was actually the usual suspect. It's because I updated my computer. Mistake number 1, updated the computer. And there is there's a goddamn programming in basic Windows called the Killer Network Control or network something. It's essentially a program that is supposed to like manage your internet speeds, and it sucks ass for streaming. It goes, whoa, computer, you won't believe this. Someone is trying to use 10 megabytes of upload. We must shut that shit down. And it turns out it keeps you from streaming. The only way to solve it is by deleting the app. And I did that. I deleted it, and it's gone. And now everything's fixed. I do want to say, by the way, I know that I was giving OBS a lot of flack, but OBS actually has a log checker. You can literally upload your the log of your current OBS session, and it'll tell you, hey, you may want to fix this. Oh, hey, you may want to fix that, which is very nice. No, it was OBS. It actually wasn't OBS. It was not actually it was not OBS. In its soul. Ronnie is like, it was OBS's fault somehow. Anyways, it's done. It's dead. So right away, there's an inherent problem with having stats having a one-to-one correlation. That means that in play, as your Statamon levels up, you keep increasing your stats. And I realized that would lead to incredibly swollen stat lines, like having plus 10 crush, etc., etc. The other issue about having a perfectly linear stat scale is that there isn't a way to balance enemies. If the player can perpetually just increase their stats, how can I, as the game designer, create rules for how enemies should work? And I talked about this literally the other day. I made a perfectly hinged post where there was nothing weird or anything strange about it. Where did I leave it? Where did I leave that perfectly normal and hinged post that I made? Is nothing sorted in this goddamn folder? See, I love Dallas because Dallas comes in with please group by date, please. Date created, please. Thank you. I don't have. Did I put it under memes or did I put it under? I just recently cleaned my folders, so I can't find anything. OBS is like capitalism. I'm not gonna let OBS catch flack. OBS is did its best. Okay, listen. I think I put it in game dev. There it is. Oh my god. Open link. There we go. Yeah. So I made a very nice and simple. A nice and simple. Why are you the lowest quality possible? What if I open you again, huh? No? Okay, well, don't worry about it, okay? Long story short. I came up with a really cool system of having, instead of having enemies, having a rating where, like, okay, if you're fighting a hard enemy, it has +5 on all of its stats. Bad, ugly, stinky. Don't do the signing like that. Instead, what I ended up coming up with was using letter grades instead. I'm gonna just run you through the scale real quick. Why do I think that Kendra's gonna find this funny? Like, did you have letter grades in an RPG? I feel like Kendra would find that funny. Alright, so your attributes now are ranked by a letter. The letter has a minus, regular, and plus variance. And it goes up to S, double S, and smoking sexy style. There we go, perfect. So this is how the stat ranking works now. Most Satamon will start with stats in D. And over the course of the roleplay session, you will be able to spend time training your Satamon to increase their stats from the minus to the base mode. And I wanna add one thing right now. In the game, the plan is that if you intend to level up a stat from the plus version to the next letter grade, you must defeat a foe of that letter grade. So for instance, if I'm playing as Lucilla and I want to level up my my crush from D plus to C minus, I must defeat an enemy who is ranked C. As I mentioned previously, Satamon is moving into a fighting game kind of feel. This is the tonal change that I talked about a couple of weeks ago. I mean, like, honestly, like games like Pokemon and Digimon are essentially fighting games. You know, it's one side versus the other. You trade blows and moves, and you take advantage of each other's weaknesses to overcome each other in combat. So the tone of Satamon has shifted a little bit away from I'm on a big adventure with my buddies to what I can only refer to as fighting game / wrestling logic, where fights can happen anywhere at any time. Any kind of squabble can just be solved by fighting. children can in fact stop world spanning criminal organizations with the power of fisticuffs. And you know, there's always a world tournament happening somewhere. The other thing that I very much like that I'm stealing from Street Fighter is that there's going to be like your ability to travel the world is like guaranteed. There is no need for like passports, no need for like paying for plane tickets. You can just travel wherever you want. Also, hi Ferret. Shonen Battle Matrix, there you go. Will there still be exploration? Absolutely. So the one thing I want to clarify is that the pillars of this game, oh my god, there's so much updating that I haven't like been able to tell you, which is good, which is the reason why we're here today. Sadamon is built on the following modes, okay? Again, once I realized this game is essentially a fighting game, it's given me so much color, but also like mechanical inspirations. So the gameplay modes of Sadamon. So Sadamon will have gameplay modes. These are essentially collections of moves. If you want to think of them as moves, like Iron Valley, Iron Sworn, Starforged. You essentially cycle through these modes. Now, the game mode where you're engaging in combat versus everyone else. Hi, Safifi. Hello. Welcome in.
Welcome back.
The gameplay mode in which you're fighting an opponent is called versus mode. Versus mode can be versus a player, or you know, versus player. It can also be versus a computer. This game is meant for solo play. So, you know, a lot of the content will be geared towards fighting against a computer. But the game is also completely compatible for you to play against your friends. That's one thing that I find really fun about this design concept. That, like, it is essentially a fighting. You could sit down with your friends and fight each other using the Sadamon you have created in your adventures. And speaking of creating Sadamon, one of the game modes of this game is create a Sadamon. In this mode, you follow the guidelines and you create yourself a Sadamon. Is there classic and story mode? Don't get ahead of me, Dallas. In create a Sadamon, you literally follow the steps and you create yourself a little guy. So I like this being a unique part of one of the pillars of the game, because as we all know, in solo games, prep is play, and I want to make that incredibly concrete. You know, like if one time you're like, you know, I want to play Sadamon, but I don't have time to do a match or go into the story mode, you could just make a Sadamon in advance for the next time you go into story mode. Simple as that. I like that. Prep is play, so why not make it literally a mode you can play in the game? And as Dallas has no doubt already surmised, there is also story mode. A story mode is where you develop rivals, partake on tournaments, work on your own storyline, and also train your Sadamon. Let me just forge relationships. Train your Sadamon. And also, you overcome challenges using the skills you have on your Sadamon. So, for instance, all of the skills that your Sadamon has, including traditionally non-combat ones like transportation skills like running, climbing, swimming, flying, all of them also have a plus value to them. Dallas's 300-page Sadamon construction kit being outsourced to me. There you go. So, you know, overcome obstacles and challenges. The one key thing about this, and if you're curious about what the tone of the game and the flow of game is gonna be, I would strongly suggest you watch any shonen anime. Alternatively, the main one that's in my head, by the way, is specifically the 90s Virtua Fighter anime. What I mean by that is that every time you take actions, please stop me if this mechanic sounds familiar to you, by the way. As you take actions and you do things in the overworld, a fight clock advances. And once it is filled, it's time to fight. An episode of a shonen anime can't go 23 minutes without someone fighting, and that's also a rule for the game. This is to light a fire under players' butts, to get them to not only engage with the enemy systems, but also, continue to create struggles and hurdles for them to overcome and deal with. Could it possibly be that the person you need help from will only help you if you defeat them in battle? Is it possible that the seemingly normal day is interrupted by the criminal organization that you have to defeat? Could it possibly be that your rival appears out of nowhere? Fight to dayo. So there's the fight mode. Now, it is not currently super planned. The Dallas is not correct. Yeah, we're not gonna do full-on Dragon Ball Z, where you spend the whole episode charging up. Kendra, for a penny, name a Satamon. Anyways, I do also, by the way, I do have planned for an arcade mode that is essentially a more compact story mode, where you go through a series of fights. But again, right now, these three are like the main meat and potatoes right now. There will also, I do also want to remind everyone that this will be available. I know how to spell words, by the way. I'm not gonna play. I'm definitely not playing a game all about words tomorrow. The other thing is that trade mode will be available from the beginning. Trade mode is the mechanism in Satamon where you essentially trade the Satamon you have made with another player. Think of it kind of like trading in Pokemon, except you're not trading a specific Satamon, just a discovery that you found. This is because it's fun to share. It's also to encourage people to make their own Satamon creations and share them with the world. I very much like that. And if you don't mind me getting on my soapbox for a hot minute, I think I would very much like to encourage the kind of creativity and joy that I enjoy in the world. But also, it's a game about adorable, cool little creatures, and I feel like you should encourage players and everyone alike to create their own. I like that. But Maxi, why do people make cursed, horrible Satamon that are nothing but references? I don't know. Have fun. Oh no, someone's having fun with my game? I don't have the dun 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 sound effect, but just imagine that I put it in there, okay? Now going back to the status scaling for a second before I forget why I brought it up in the first place. The reasoning why I'm capping stats at +5 is so that for the story reason, when you're playing in story mode, +5 is the highest you will ever roll on anything, and that makes it easier for me to decide what difficulty levels are for what. And also having sub tiers within tiers makes it so that we don't have to swell up plus values, and I feel like this also gives players a desire to want to upgrade their skills. Like if you're on D+, you definitely want to double that bonus in story mode, which means you have to defeat an opponent who's rank C or higher. The game will also feature a handy table, being like, oh, are you fighting a wild Satamon? Wild Satamon are usually D difficulty. Are checks like 2d6 or 1d20? I'm a little bit early on the design for the story system. I've been mostly focusing on the combat, because the combat beta is coming. The combat beta is what? I'm legitimately thinking of just I don't know how to phrase this in a way that is not bad. Taking inspiration from the dice system in Daggerheart. I very much like the Daggerheart system. I like it because it's got that iron sworniness to it. You know, like the idea that like the dice themselves can tell you the flavor of your success or failure. I very much love that. So I think I will be borrowing the dice mechanism from Daggerheart. That feels like what my heart is telling me to do. Not just because it's good, but also because I like it. I think it will make for fun development. And it's so much like shonen anime, you know, like you defeat the bad guy, but there's a downside, or you know, you fail, but you learn something. You have a moment of personal growth, you know, like it makes sense to me. It makes sense to me. What else? What else? I mean, like there's literally like so many like chapters of like upgrades. Let me run you through the last couple big changes. So, I made a big playtest, and I showed it to Kitty. I was confident in this playtest. I was confident. I was sure. I had tested it. And I am still human. I am very human, and I'm very small. So Kitty tried it, and it wasn't just that Kitty got the worst luck of all time, but it also pointed out a few oversights in my design. This is why testing stuff is important. And I promise you, I assure you, nobody wants the playtest to come out more than me, okay? I have so many ideas, but I gotta make sure that they work. Hence why we're doing the combat beta to begin with. Long story short, Kitty ran through the demo, and much like showing someone a rough draft of your story, she eloquently, gently, kindly pointed out all the stuff that was wrong in it. So I have a bunch of notes. But essentially, I had come up with a series of systems that, from my playtest, felt good and seemed good. But with the benefit of another point of view, yeah, they stink. Yeah, they stink. All right, so, what's gone? What's gone? So what's gone originally? And it's funny to talk about this because like I'm talking about stuff that you will never see anymore, but which I still kind of have to cover anyway. The big mechanical change was that previously the combat had an RPS system. Maxi, what the hell's an RPS system? RPS is a concept that appears in fighting games. It's also a thing you already know. RPS stands for rock, paper, scissors. And in fighting games, there is an RPS built in. It is the hierarchy between certain moves. Punches are defeated by blocking. Blocking is defeated by throwing. And throwing is defeated by punching. That is the most basic RPS. If the opponent is blocking, you throw them. If the opponent is striking, you block. And if the opponent is trying to throw, you punch them. I designed a system like that primarily to resolve priority. And it didn't work. So we're back to a much simpler system where each move has a unique priority to it. So before, at the beginning of the bout, which is what rounds are made of, both players will pick a move, and they would reveal that move. The move with the RPS with priority would go first. So for instance, if you were blocking and I had picked a throw-like move, I would go first, my move will resolve, you would get nothing. Good day, sir. Frame data always wins. Yeah, so we're actually moving more towards frame data. The reason why I didn't want to do each move, so before, it's throw, grab, beats, block, bollock, block, defend. And now, essentially the way that now works is that throw and block, they don't actually, block doesn't exist in this version of the game, but we'll get there. Both have a priority value from 1 through 5. 1 is slowest, 2 is slow, 3 is normal, 4 is fast, and 5 is fastest. I will tell you now, by the way, most moves fit into these 3. Moves only go from slow to slowest when they are like an overpowered move that gets basically nerfed to go down to slowest, or a move that gives up a lot of advantage just to go first, no matter what. Now, as no doubt Dallas is wondering, Maxi, what happens if both players pick a move with the same priority? You will resolve that using your speed stat, which works just like this. So, if I have D speed and you have C speed, you will always beat me in the case that we pick the same priority move. Originally, I didn't want to have this change because this means that every move needs to have its own unique priority value. Sometimes you just have to suffer, okay? So I will suffer. What else do I tell you? What else will I tell you? I've made so many. I made so many playtests. I made so many playtests. You will not believe all the stuff that I made behind the scenes. Oh yeah. Oh, one more thing. One more thing that's changed, by the way. Elemental weaknesses are different. Orange. Mods ban orange. The way that my heart stopped, Michael. The way my heart stopped when I read your message, guys. I think the stream is broken. How dare you, Mods? No. How you doing, Michael? Yo, sorry to hear about your car. There's a max instead of a loading circle. I mean, you can get the loading circle again under the emotes. If you miss the loading circle so much, you can just put that in the in the chat. So previously, by the way, elemental weaknesses essentially dealt more damage to the players. It doesn't work like that anymore. As I mentioned earlier, hi, I'm Michael Kine. As I mentioned earlier, a move will ask you to check one of your skills versus a stat. For instance, crush versus defense. If your skill is higher than the opponent's defense, you deal extra damage. It's an EX move. It's usually like 1 additional damage. And I know what you're thinking, Maxi. It's 1 damage, Maxi. How much is one damage, Maxi? $10. It makes a big difference. 1 additional damage makes a big difference, especially because health is pretty much set now in the fights, but we'll get there in a second. And Michael is correct. The only HP point that matters is the last one. Maxi, did you say HP point, Maxi? Anyways, now what does this have to do with weaknesses, Maxi? Instead of weaknesses dealing extra damage, to make the checks easier, also to parse, by the way, is that if your opponent is weak to your attack, it does EX damage always. So before it would be like, this move is Crush versus Defense, and it deals 2-3 bolt damage. This is the way that it was written before, by the way. Now the way that the notation is, by the way, is Bolt, Crush versus Defense. This way, you literally you check for weakness before anything else. Like, one example, Lucilla is weak to Bolt. Go Bruiser, the tutorial fight, is Bolt. So essentially, Go Bruiser will always deal extra damage to Lucilla. So like the Pokemon TCG, not necessarily. No, not really. There's also an added value, as I mentioned earlier. If you deal EX damage to an opponent, their turn also ends. Unless they have armor, their turn automatically ends. So it is the damage is not the primary gain of EX moves. Thus, having an elemental advantage is not the only thing. It also just makes your opponent go, your turn's over now. Boop. Which I think is kind of a big deal. So that's that. So now you check for elemental weaknesses before you worry about anything else. What else? I think that's it. Let me double check real quick. Oh my god, so much writing. Brothers don't even know. You don't even know. There's a turn-based fighter. Yo! Me? So elemental stun lock? Well, not necessarily, because as have I even explained how the combat works in this game? Oh my god. Should I just explain combat? Okay. All right. Okay. Perhaps I should explain how combat works in this game before we move on. Where did I leave that illustration? Am I gonna make the drawing right now? I really shouldn't make the drawing right now. Let's make the drawing right now. Okay. All right. Let me just bring down this tab. Bringing down the house. How y'all doing, by the way? This is what I get for like living in my own little head. All right, let's make a little drawing real quick. Aw, so nice to see you too, Peter. Have a lovely rest of your day. Take care. Thank you for dropping by. Bye-bye. Okay, so just pretend, by the way, that this is 20 HP. And pretend in the actual version of the game, these are actually like notches, by the way. All right, I'm gonna make this so quick you don't even know. And I'm gonna need, give me 2 round markers, please. Can I please have 2 round markers like right about this away? And then put them like right here, please. And then copy and paste them on the other way, please. Maxi, you're making this really quickly. Yeah, I've made this like 3 times. In fact, I want to make it the exact same way that I made it before. I have made this so many times in the last week. Now I'm wondering if you can timer scam. There is no timer in the game because there are no longer purely defensive moves. Maxi, why aren't there any defensive moves, Maxi? Do you hate defense that badly? It's not that I hate defense, is that Kitty and I ran the playtest with defensive moves, and we had a realization, and that is that defensive moves are kind of a zero-sum game. You effectively negate the opponent's turn, but you also don't do anything. It doesn't really advance the it doesn't advance like the fight in any meaningful way. Kendra says, I've played these games before. Go on. What if there was a defensive move with a buff? Perhaps, again, so I want to clarify again. My distinction is that purely defensive moves are out and gone and dead. Don't even cry for them, they're gone. They don't even care about you. Kendra says, Squid Game's meme story had to give something to the kids. Chicken Jockey, subscribe because we're cool, thank you. Kendra, I really appreciate that, thank you. And let me just... I also would like to formally apologize for literally not talking about game design for like 3 weeks. The game's gone through a lot of changes. They're all good, by the way. These are all really, really good changes. All right, thank God. There you go. All right, welcome. This is what Satamon's gonna look like to you, by the way. So, let me walk you through the UI for Satamon. This will be a nice little piece of paper that has all the rules on it. You could even say this is a one-page game with rules in it, in one page. You have 20 health on either side. In the actual print version, I've made this before. There is 20 little boxes that you mark off as you take damage or heal, I guess. I don't want to do that, so just put 20 out of 20. Every fight in Satamon is the best of 3 rounds. The first person to check their second bubble wins. Fights go by pretty fast though, because the average damage a move can do... The average damage a move can do is... There you go. 5 normally, 6 if it's an EX. That means that on average it is... Again, if somebody's only using big strong move, 5 hits and your round is over. I almost thought you were gonna say the One Piece. I heard that it is real. But besides that, it all remains but a rumor to me. Alright, so. In Satamon battles, much like in a fighting game, there is an area where your units move. Did I say units? I meant unit. It is a 1v1 fighting game where you are able to bring in additional Satamon in your party. We will talk about the active tag system in a moment. Player 1 begins in the 3rd spot, player 2 on the 5th spot. These are set and do not change. The center square is known as the spotlight. It is important for the next item on the list. Underneath you, there's 4 little boxes. They look like batteries, but I didn't want to draw them as batteries because this takes too damn long. This is known as hype. Hype is essentially meter. It is a resource that you use to power up your moves. Hype is gained by moves that give you hype. I know, world-changing, life-affirming. Otherwise, hype is gained. God damn it, Michael. Hype is gained at the end of every bout. Bout is the smallest. Part of a fight. Okay. A match is made of rounds, and rounds are made of bouts. At the end of a bout, you do a thing called a hype check. The Satamon closest to the spotlight / the center tile gains a hype. In the case that both Satamon are equidistant, they both gain a hype. Maxi, why is that, Maxi? Because I want you to kill each other, that's why. I want the fight to be over. Maxi, what does hype do, Maxi? Well, let me tell you about how turns happen in this game. At the start of a bout, each player... Kendra, I'm not opening anything you put in the chat, okay? I'm not opening anything. I'm not opening that. Kendra, please explain. Kendra, please explain. 1 gallon, 4 quarts, 8 pints, 16 cups, 1 quart, 2 pints, 4 cups, 1 pint, 2 cups. Wait. You're so funny. You're so funny. You're funny. And now, if you excuse me, I'm going to clear my throat. The metric system is will always be better. I'm sorry. So, Maxi, how is the gameplay flow, Maxi? It's quite simple, okay? First, you pick your move. Each Satamon has 4 moves. We will talk about how computers work in this game shortly. Let's pretend now that these are the rules for you playing against a friend. Now, Maxi, will there be leagues, Maxi? Will you run a Satamon fighting tournament on the Discord server? Yes. Yes, I will. Well, maybe we'll put a Steam gift card on the line, and then people are really gonna... Let me tell you, okay? People are doing Uni tournaments for no money, okay? Satamon will have a bigger prize pool than any Uni tournament out there. Maxi, why are you destroying Uni, Maxi? Well, because it's easy. No one in chat knows who Uni is. What Uni is. And if I say Undernight Inbirth EXE latest clear, nobody knows what that means either. Those are words. Let me just do my best Kendra impression. Maxi, none of those words are in the Bible, Maxi. There you go. I'm calling the GIF meta and I know what it is. There you go. Got him. I love when Kendra's in the chat. I love Kendra. So you pick a move, right? Your Cinnamon has 4 moves. You pick one of your 4 moves. There is a unique, cool, and cute mechanism for picking your moves. We're not gonna talk about it because there's already enough to explain. You pick your moves, then you reveal your moves at the same time. You reveal. Highest priority goes first. Then you resolve your moves. Some moves will have you move before hitting. Some moves have long range. Some moves have effects that trigger when you hit an opponent with them. Nonetheless, you reveal your moves. Whoever has highest priority, in this case literally a number, goes first. You resolve that move. If your opponent became staggered by taking EX damage, they don't take a turn this turn. Literally, you let me just put a mark here. If foe got staggered, no turn for them. Haha. And then you do a hype check. Whoever is closest to the center tile gets 1 hype, and that's it, baby. Round 2. Fight. And that's it. You repeat this until you've done all this. Now, Maxi, what happens if I'm fighting a CPU? Because against a real life, flesh and blood player, I know exactly what they're doing. Playing flesh and blood. Anyways. Status effect meta. I use EX moves every turn. About that. I guess I can actually talk about how specials work, by the way. The way that specials work, or supers if you want to call them, when you commit to what move you're going to do, you spend as much meter as you want, and for each meter that you spend, you gain +1 damage, +1 speed, and +1 to your skill. That's right. It's kinda busted. And it should be busted. You should be using those skills. You should be using your meter. Strangely enough, in playtest, one of the saving graces of playtest is that Kirin and I both agree that waiting until you have 4 meter to do a super is freaking wasteful. Wait, so it's like X Factor? So Rushdown, Dallas, you have activated my trap card.
Good. It's all coming together.
I know that within the fighting games community, there is this idea that there is multiple types of character archetypes: the grappler, the zoner, the rushdown. I'm taking a little sprinkle of inspiration from Guilty Gear, and I'm just gonna come out and say it. All builds in fighting games are rushdown. It's just that different archetypes rush down at different ranges. That's it. Zoners rush down at far away. Rushdown rushes at medium range, and grapplers rush at super close range. At the end of the day, everyone's doing damage. You know, there isn't gonna be a meta like in Magic the Gathering with like toxic counters, okay? At the end of the day, you're dealing 20 damage to your buddy. Counterpoint, puppet characters. Puppet characters are zoners. Totsugeki's rushdown. Tatsugeki! Oh, by the way, Maxi, does that mean that Lucilla is gonna be the Shoto of the game? Yes. We will be building Lucilla to be the Shoto of the game. Lucilla is going to have a Shoryu, a Fireball, and a Tatsu, I think. And as for the 4th move, don't ask me. We'll figure it out when we get there. So, this is easy peasy lemon squeezy for fighting against real life players. What about fighting against the computer? Allow me to introduce you to the game plan system. Please keep in mind that what you're about to see has already been fixed, but just look at what I made, okay? Just look at it and just don't look at it what it is. Look at what it could be, okay, once I fix it. Alright, so, enemies have game plans. Game plans come in 2 flavors: chill and fierce. The reason for there being 2 flavors of a game style, fighting style, the NPCs you fight in the game are gonna have fighting styles. That is how you decide how an enemy behaves. That fighting style is based on their primary attack stat and their element. So for instance, Gobruiser here, being a Crush and Bolt Satamon, has access to the Rolling Thunder fighting style. Now, why are there 2 difficulties, Maxi? There's 2 difficulties because sometimes in play, you might find yourself wanting to tweak the difficulty a little bit. This is for accessibility, but also for storytelling reasons. Perhaps you're having a friendly match against... Oh, the captions are dead. Perhaps you're doing... Oh, they're back. Good. Perhaps you're doing a friendly match against the tea house owner. Perhaps you discover that the Satamon that you're trying to convince in the wild is much stronger than you thought. Then perhaps for that one, instead of doing the usual chill fighting style, you would do the fierce version. Nonetheless, let me walk you through what's in this nonsense, okay? What about counter-based people? They are the opposite of rushdown. I mean, ultimately, they want to deal damage, brothers. Fellas, sorry, Kitty called me out on it. Now that I'm watching like 10,000 times more fighting games content, I call everyone brother. I'm like, listen, brother. Somebody ever heard you and said that's a bad take? Some characters just block but suck. That's beautiful. Am I on speakerphone? Am I on the TV right now? Oh, hey mom. Anyways, there's more stuff to this, but nonetheless, this is the Gobruiser beta fighting style. It is Rolling Thunder. It has up to 4 moves, just like a regular Satamon does. Maxi, are those the buttons from the Neo Geo? Shut up. Those moves are just like the regular moves you have, by the way. Hime says that I'm on the big screen. The cats can hear me. Hi, cats. Hi. I'm sorry. I said that hi with the same cadence as the Ice Good Emu. Hi, Nanigaski. Chocominto. Yorimo anata. Yes, you're on my TV, dude. Hell yeah, let's go. So your opponent Sadamon will have up to 4 moves. And I know what you're thinking, Maxi. So if I'm fighting a CPU, when it's the enemy turn, you just roll a die and then, oh, okay, so they have 4 moves. It's a 1d4, Maxi? Is that really all there is to it, Maxi? Really? Really, Maxi? You invented a 1d4 table, Maxi? Wow, you're so smart. Ye of little faith.
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
I love that! Hime says my cats didn't look up when you were talking to them, but immediately reacted to the Nanigaski. Got him. Hime, I'm sorry, Hime. Your cats are weeps. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to break it to you, Hime. Maxi, is your cat a weeb? My cat, Yanto, he's not a weeb. He sleeps and does nothing else. He only sleeps. His hobby is going to bed. Every enemy fighting style comes with a game plan. The game plan is either a list of 1 through 8 or 1 through 12. And when it's the enemy's turn, you roll a d4 on this table. And you increase that value every time you roll it. This is essentially giving you the AI, the computer's like game plan, their default combo. For instance, in this example, the Go Bruiser will do Knuckle Sandwich, Knuckle Sandwich, Knuckle Sandwich, Knuckle Sandwich, and then Rolling Thunder. For the very first time you roll on this table, you know he's gonna go for Knuckle Sandwich. So that gives you, the player, a chance to react and be like, well, if Go Bruiser's gonna do Knuckle Sandwich, and Knuckle Sandwich is X speed, I can go first. Or I could reposition this away so that he misses me. I like the buttons. Yeah, they're from the Neo Geo. You should have an extra hard AI cheats and reach your input mode. Yeah, no kidding. And every time it's the computer's turn, you roll a d4 and add it to this table. Once it hits the maximum, the opponent, again, every single time, they will spend whatever hype they have and do a super. So I like this because it makes it so that the fight has a natural flow to it. Your opponent is doing certain moves again and again, and they always try to go with the finisher. It gives you a chance to prepare yourself. You think, well, I'm currently at 6 out of 8. The chances that the d4 lands me on 1 is 1 out of 4. Anything else, and the opponent's gonna release a super. I think I can probably act with the notion that it is going to try to do a super, and then you know, and then you roll a 1, and then you regret everything. But that's part of the fun. Yo! Hime says my cats have no choice but to be weebs. One is named after an anime character, and the other after a Persona 4 character. You're in good company. May I ask their names, if that's okay? I'll give you my cat's name. My baby son Yanto is... Let me go find a picture real quick. Yanto Jones. My son Yanto is named after Yanto Jones from Torchwood, because my wife liked Torchwood. He is a gay man. And I love that my wife, when she first saw our Russian Blue Sun, she thought, this cat would look good in a suit. And that's how it came to be. Hime says, Hideyoshi? Oh, Hide's cute. And the other one is Yukiko. Oh, I gotta love Yukiko. That's good. That's good. That's good. Now, Maxi, what's the difference between a chill fighting style and the fierce version? The fierce version has more moves. and a longer game plan of 12 as opposed to 8, it means that there's more variance. And also, you know, just more moves means more variance. And also the stats are usually higher too. He enters the final boss of Sadamon. Could you imagine? Kendra says, can you all tell Bolita not to eat my costume? Am I on speaker? Am I on speakers or are you on headphones? Because, you know, no use yelling into your ear, Kendra. Can we talk about how Kendra's #1 on the leaderboard, by the way? Kendra really is #1 on the leaderboard, huh? That's incredible. But yeah, this is the way that the enemy fighting modes work. This means that when you encounter a Sadamon in the wild, or you're rolling up an enemy trained Sadamon, perhaps a karate master and their fellow Sadamon, there will be a table that will tell you, hey, is your Sadamon Crush and Bolt? Roll on this table, and it will give you a selection of fighting styles. And then there you go. There's gonna be some variance in there. It won't always be the same fighting style. Dallas says, so it is part Slay the Spire, but has enough variance to force more hedging. I like describing it like that. I feel the need to like underline where we came from, because we got to Sadamon from me working on DSM, and the big crux in DSM's design was a combat system that automated itself. And I'm having a lot of fun with that. I really am. And it's really funny. I keep thinking about how, like, we started this design session, like overall, not just today's, by the way, wanting to make a game similar to Pokemon / Digimon / Metabots. And like angling to make it a fighting game didn't change any of those things. Like it's still as much about finding friends, about fighting for your friends. It's still as much about training, about becoming stronger. I'm honestly like, I'm kind of shocked by how well it worked out. Also, by the way, I forgot to add some quotes. So, big shoutouts to Cade for adding all these quotes. Ready for me to just copy and paste, by the way. Dude, that was quote 111. Quote 111. Cade's gonna wake up on the operating table, no tits, fresh fade. So good. Oh yeah, by the way, my good friend Cade and Chad, Wizard of Mousley, he's having his top surgery soon. If you would like to support him, please consider leaving a donation on the link in the chat right now. What else? Yo, that's yeah. Cade has discounted commissions, by the way. If you've ever wanted cool, badass art, consider supporting Cade and getting a cool thing along the way. It is 1:25. Congratulations, Maxi. You've managed to just catch up with everything you wanted to tell people. So yeah. So what is the plan for the game moving forward, by the way, in case anybody's wondering? I made a ton of content. I want to make it very clear. I've made a bunch of stuff. Personally, my plan is just to adapt as much of what I've already made into the new guidelines and systems. Essentially, all the moves have to get updated. There's been a kind of a power shift, power scaling. You know, some moves that I thought were strong turned out to not be strong enough. Some moves that I thought were weak turned out to be very weak. So that's another thing. Overall, as for the flow of battle in the game, there's definitely we're focusing away from defensive moves. Essentially, I block and your attack did no damage. We're moving a little bit away from that, primarily because your Satamon only has 4 moves, which means you only have 4 options, and anybody who has watched competitive Pokemon knows that it is boring to have one of your 4 moves taken up by Protect. So we're not doing that. All of your moves do something. And if you don't want to get hit, I would strongly suggest getting a move that moves you around the battlefield. I feel like that's probably more useful. You know, we could maybe, you know, there is enough quotes where like we could do like a little bit of, what if we did like a PDF with all the quotes? That would be funny. You're going by Piccolo logic, dodge? Absolutely. 1,000%. 1,000%. So this is another thing. Dallas put this up earlier. Is there a possibility that a player can just run the clock? There is no clock in this game. And I am purposefully not designing any systems where a player can just sit on their ass and nothing happens. For example, there is... Bapple has a couple of moves that heals a slightly tiny little bit of damage, but only when it deals damage itself. Bapple, even though it has a good heal stat, it can't just sit there just healing. But I mean, like, you know, perhaps, you know, I think... I will say that, like, I don't have any interest in creating an automated system that runs the game for you. In part because, at its core, this is still a solo game. This is still a game that I want someone to just open up a book and be able to play. The other thing, and thank you for bringing up this point, the creature creation system for Satamon is complex, and there are difficult options in there. That's why I'm gonna have a simple and a complex version of the game, of the creation system. But I would still, I don't want to make an automatic roller that you click a button and it gives you like all the rolls done in one go. I don't want that. During my experience making Satamon, I found that making them one roll at a time and picturing them basically being formed in my head as I go was way more effective than just having all the rolls in one go. I know it seems like counterproductive to be like, well, it's gonna take longer if I do each roll one at a time. But I assure you, and Hime is so correct. Hime says automatic systems like that take away choice and imagination. I think so. And also, like, what is Maxi's persona? It's probably the Fool. One might argue that it's the Star or the Chariot, but I think it's the Fool. I see myself as much a bit of a fool myself. And again, I feel like, forgive me for being this person, by the way. Is spending a bunch of time creating a system to make the game run simpler for you. I feel like it's a little bit defeating where you could just play the game as is, you know? I see what you mean. Sorry, I misunderstood ya. Other than that, fellas, it is exactly 1:30. I'm gonna give you all a couple minutes. If you have questions about Satamon that I didn't answer, go now. Ah, crap. Okay. Maxi, how does tagging work in this game? As part of your turn, you may do a slow tag where you replace your current Satamon with another Satamon in your party. A maximum party size of 3, by the way. You can have more than 3 Satamon with you, but 3 is as many as you can bring into a fight. Now, the more Satamon you bring, the less rewards you get, of course, but you know that's the rub, baby. When you're in battle, you can do a slow tag. Essentially, you spend your entire time switching to a different Satamon in your party. There's the active tag, where you spend 1 hype, and you basically do your other Satamon comes in doing one of their 4 moves. This means that if you have 1 meter, you effectively have 12 moves at your disposal. And I feel like that's as complex as the game should be. How competitive is this game? I actually legitimately envision that people might get kind of sweaty with this game, but that's okay. It's a competitive game at its core. I've been designing it with the full intention that I want people to be able to play with the Satamon they created. And I know people are gonna ask for like like tournament okay rules and stuff like that. We'll get there when we get there. So you know, we'll get there. We'll get there. I think it's gonna be fun though. And as I mentioned, I do intend to run little tournaments on the Discord, 100%. I intend to to give away some Steam gift cards to whoever can win the tournament. And other than that, we'll get there. The release schedule at the moment is I'm gonna get the combat beta out, and then we're gonna build on that combat beta, adding the other parts, the other pillars one by one until the whole thing is complete. So you're saying I could give my Orangemon a rocket launcher and it would be tournament legal? I mean, like, okay, so funny answer, 100%. Serious answer, as long as your Satamon was built following the regular system and you have given it X amount of trainings, as per the tournament guidelines, you can submit Patrick Swayzemon as long as you build it according to the guidelines. Hell yeah. Yes, you can in fact bring your Chris Pinemon. You can bring your Satamon. What is a Satamon? What is a Satamon? Alright, I've had enough thinking for today, fellas. Let's do dailies. By the way, before I go anywhere, I want to let you know that this stream is supported by viewers just like you. Today, if you have money to spare, send it to my good friend Cade. Cade is a lovely artist. Commission them! Give them money! He's getting his top surgery soon, and I'm so proud of him and happy for him. Go support my friend.
Dude, that's gay.
How dare you? And I do also intend, by the way, to continuously release new Satamon that go on like the Satamon Codex that anyone can use for their games and their adventures and public fights or whatever. I haven't said this out loud on the stream, but I'm gonna say it right now. Satamon is my big game for this year. Deep apologies to anybody who wants me to release another big game this year. Satamon is my big game for the year. I'm gonna be updating it continuously because I'm having too much fun. Too much fun. But for now, let's do dailies. Okay. Joestar asks, Satamon breeding when? There will not be breeding in Satamon. I am putting my foot... It's funny because this was on the list of things from the very first design session. Things that will not be in Satamon. Held items, using items in battle, and breeding. The first three are kind of dumb and gamey. Satamon breeding is like so nonsensical. It's like it's all Pokemon's fault, and I'm not gonna let them ruin Satamon for me. Orange says family-friendly Pokemon. Okay, listen. You say that as though Pokemon isn't already family-friendly. But also, Kitty's here. Hi, Kitty!
Hello.
Hi, wifey. How you doing? Are you high?
No.
You came down from your high?
Yeah. They let me down, like, there's 20 minutes left and they let me down.
No! Are you feeling good?
I feel okay.
I love you.
I love you.
Hot damn! Looks good!
Thank you. I'll tell you more after.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Kitty had a dentist appointment today.
Get your ass in.
Anyways.
Canto.
So Dallas says, there could just be a widely available contraception. I want to just make this very clear, okay? We are not acknowledging Sadamon breeding. I feel like acknowledging it in any way makes it worse. Every Sadamon is a completely different goddamn organism. The idea that you could just grab a fish and a cat and they can create an offspring is fucking nonsensical, man. It's video gamey, and I'm pretty sure that if I asked Satoshi Tajiri today if he regrets breeding, he would say 1,000%. And then he would ask me what was I asking about Pokemon. Yeah, I like Kate being like, Kendra, have you not heard about Pokemon breeding? The amount of things Kendra doesn't know about is hilarious, and that's why I love Kendra. Anyways, welcome to Dailies, fellas. Oh, sorry, I have to kill. You block Origin, kill this guy, and kill this guy. There we go. Kendra says, what? Pokemon lay eggs? That's fucking wild. Yeah, it is. It actually is. Oh, and I think that's it. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Dailies. I am your host, named Kirin. Dailies is a segment of the stream where we play games we can only play today, beginning with Quartle, where we do 4 Wordles at once, because it's the only way I can feel anything anymore. We always open with Rogue, followed by Saturn, followed by Blimp. And with this, we have the keys to the kingdom. Potty? No way. It's an O. I assume it's O. Optic Blast. Bingo. Maxi, you and Kendra can do the funniest series on YouTube. Yep, yeah. It's like, I know Pokemon and I don't, and we're the Pokemon monsters. I don't know. We'll get there. We'll workshop it, okay? G.I. Joe. The problem with Maxi and I playing Pokemon, I love it when Kendra keeps me on the edge. Kendra loves sending the half of the message. Is when I play Pokemon, I don't give one fuck about meta or strategy fights. What makes you think that I do? Oh, a Sadamon theme song though? Dude, again, there are things I want to do. We'll get there, okay? We'll get there. Maxi would hate me. Kendra's assuming that I'm like a tryhard. Okay, Kendra, I have a question for you, okay? Kendra, you're going into a Pokemon gym that is fire type. Your lead Pokemon that you've been over leveling is weak to fire. Will you get another Pokemon or just brute force it? Also, Pokemon is for kids, by the way. Kendra says, yeah, I usually have a love disc so I can go in the water. Nobody tell Kendra that normally you can't get love disc without first being able to surf, which means you would need a water Pokemon to begin with, but whatever, it's fine, don't worry about it. Maybe I am a tryhard.
This is why I don't respect streamers.
Anyways, was that why? Where I could? ALTU. Clout. 6 love discs. Alright, back to Quartle, by the way. The GI is so weird, makes me think, oh, this is the ING, it's an ING? No way. Yeah, the I doesn't go there. Atlas? No way. ATLU is such a weird combination. Unless it ends in like ilt. Vault. It's not Vault?
What? You want to go back out? Okay.
What is this? Could somebody please tell me what word this is, by the way? A blank ult. Does anybody know how to be an adult? Fellas, chat, does anybody know how to be an adult? I need an adult. Okay, all right, I'm fine. I'm fine now. I'm fine now. What is the word? Maxi looking at adult 2025. Thank you, Orange. There's so many words, letters here. VOAL. Vocaloid. Bingo. Your Honor, the word is Vocaloid. Your Honor, the word is Vocaloid. I thought you had a quote, Orange. Let's see. Does Orange have a quote? Or perhaps a quote with the word orange in it? No, I guess not. Is it giddy? Not me typing giddy into the goddamn chat box. It was giddy. Point goes to Dallas today. Bingo. Welcome to Guess the Game, where we guess the game by guessing the game and guessing the game. This game looks like ass. This is probably Dragon Age 2. Dragon Age 3? Psychonauts? No way. It's not. The power of quartz? There's a lot of quartz going on. This looks like a JRPG, 80% JRPG. It's not Final Fantasy, although this, you know, guy who's two big limbs. What the fuck is this? Squints? PS3, PC, Xbox 360. Brother, I don't know who you are. I'm gonna be honest with you. Is this Lost Odyssey? No way it's Lost Odyssey. No way. It's not. This is not Lost Odyssey. Giant A button. Is this Darksiders? Is this H of... Is this freaking... Is this not Age of Reckoning? It's Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning? Oh my god! Ah! The way that I'm like, this game looks like ass. It is Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. Oh my god. Who? This is a game by that studio who was in Boston, and they got a bunch of government funding, and they ran with the money. Unfortunately, it sucks because Ari Salvatore made this cool world for them, and tax evasion ruined the game. Yeah, because it looks like an on-console MMO game. Hello, I love you. Yeah, this is the opening of the game with the dwarfs. Yeah, there you go. It's a game where you like build your own character. They give you like a bunch of stats and stuff. Ronnie says hi, by the way. Welcome back to Pokedoku, where we do Sudoku, but it's backwards and it's Pokemon. Electric Dragon, Dual Type Steel, Poison, and Sinnoh. Sinnoh is gonna be the worst one. Kitty, is Pachirisu Gen 4?
Yeah.
Thank you. Steal from Sinnoh. Dude, that's Honedge, baby.
No.
That's not Honedge?
Sinnoh's Gen 4.
Sinnoh's Gen 4. Oh crap, what's a steel type from Gen 4, Kitty? Please help me. I'm a baby. Oh, Lucario is also the correct answer, Michael. And Sinnoh Poison, that's Krogunk.
Yep.
I love him. I love that, so, Maxi, you're making a Pokemon-inspired fighting game, TTRPG. Did you look into Pokken Tournament? Yes. Not a lot. I couldn't take much from it, because it's kind of a janky game. But I love that Krogunk was one of the fighters in it. It's not the evolution. Krogunk is in it. And I love that. It's just a little guy. Electric Dragon, is that Voltman? What's his name? Is that guy with that? It's Dracozolt. Is the guy with the lower half that sucks. Can we talk about how bad these designs are, by the way? I understand that they're referencing like the hack archaeologists who just combine bones together. But I'm like, that looks like a horrible existence. That looks like a horrible existence to live. He got the best of the lot, though. You're not wrong. Electric dual type. Could it be a chance for Alolan Raichu? For Alolan Raichu, my wife's favorite Pokemon? Hello? That just takes you to Bulbapedia? Brother, I don't need to know. I know what Steel type... Steel Dragon, though. Steel Dragon? Steel Dragon? Kitty, Steel Dragon? The one bird looking one says... Because this isn't... Wait, no, is this gonna be one of the goddamn future Pokemon? Iron Jugulus? No, he's not Dragon. A Steel Dual type. I'm gonna give you a Dual Lipa type right here. Freaking Steelix. Poison Dragon. That's Dragalge. And Poison Dual type, brother. Most poison is dual type. A bitch loves being two-faced, okay? Cyclizard is not Dragon Steel, is it? Oh, was it Miraidon?
Miraidon's Electric Dragon.
Electric Dragon, never mind. It's just what I know. I'll just guess Gengar and call it a day, brother. Listen. There you go. So what did I miss? What was... Oh, sorry. Arcaludon and Duraludon. And Dialga. And Gudra. Hisuian Gudra. Gengar type. There you go. Check the Steel one. Oh, yeah. I got you. Yeah, Dialga was the right answer, yeah. David Arcaludon. There you go. And welcome to, lastly, GameDuel. GameDuel.wtf, the website where we play games. Can I guess a game by guessing the cover? This is RimWorld. I dedicate this win to a PETA. That's FNAF. I got you. Proceeds to not check the Steel type. Wait, I thought I checked the Steel type. What are you talking about? Oh, you mean this? Steel Dual type? I checked it. The one to the right. Oh, the Bastiodon one. Okay, yeah. Oh, Magnezone! I'm a hack. I love Bastiodon. How did I not remember him? There's an awful lot of... Oh, and only... Oh, no, Lucario is also Steel. Okay, alright. Anyways, can I guess the game by looking at the artwork today? This is the Batman Telltale game. I would recognize that rendering anywhere. Also, the cover of the game is literally on the right side. Can I guess the game character? This is Captain Commando.
Bingo!
You think I wouldn't recognize Captain Commando's index finger? That's Captain Commando. But he's dressed. Not underneath those shorts, he's not. Can I guess the game by looking at keywords and guessing from those keywords? Cars, logs, and flies. What the fuck is this? Cars, logs, and flies? Cars, then fly. Well, in Vice City, your car can fly with the cheat code. River, Arcade, and Konami. An arcade... Oh my god, it's Frogger. Oh my god. The way that Kendra and Michael are just like, Frogger! Going feral in chat, it's Frogger. Oh, I guess the flies make sense, huh? I never really played Frogger. It's kind of a boomer game. Kendra walked into my anti-air. It was so good, fellas. Kendra went for a dive kick. I Shoryukened on the first available frame. Kendra said, finally a good game. Got him, Your Honor. Why doesn't it mark it as checked? I checked it. All right, well, let's beat the game. Can I guess a game by guessing the game? My wife is here, and I'm going to, of course, guess Nier Automata. Nier Replicant, forgive me. Dallas says they decomped Frogger 2 by some absurd medium. I love that. So, this game is after 2010. It is partially single player. It is some sort of point of view. It's not first person. It's not on the PS3. And it's not role-playing or hack and slash. I do agree with Dale. Should probably get some sort of open world. Let me try a Far Cry. Let's go with Far Cry 6. Okay. Between 2011 and 2020, it is a game with co-op, multiplayer, and single player. It is not open world. I'm gonna assume it's perhaps a science fiction game. Perhaps a, not an RTS. They don't make RTSs anymore. It is also not shooter. It's not a shooter. Halo? No shooter. Saints Row? I don't think so. Again, no shooter. No open world, no sandbox. Which tells me it's science fiction, fantasy, or drama. Portal 2? I don't know. Portal 2 doesn't have multiplayer, does it?
Yeah? What are you talking about?
No, it has co-op, but no multiplayer, though. Kitty off screen telling me that I don't know what I'm talking about? No, fellas. There is a distinction between co-op and multiplayer here, okay? And you're all missing it. The way that everyone, it has both. Also, I don't mean to say that I told you, but it's also not first person. Oh, no split screen, not science fiction. It's fantasy or drama. Ooh, platform puzzle. Oh, this is a freaking puzzle game. Could this be Trine? Is this Trine? Trine what? Trine 3, the Artifacts of Power. It is an action fantasy game. Sorry, I'm managing my horse girls. Fable 3, lock it in. It is third person. It's just third person, huh? Action fantasy, but role playing is not available here though. That's my thing. No hack and slash, no role playing. So it's a fantasy game, and it's not only a platformer. But okay, so puzzle platformer with local co-op, action fantasy. I don't think it's Diablo. I think it's an indie game. I think it's like an indie couch. Ooh, not local co-op though. Not local co-op though, huh? You know what? We haven't tried guessing for like EA or Blizzard. Let's do a Diablo 4. It's not Blizzard. Give me my one-time clue because I'm kind of Noida. Could be Noida. Ooh, side view 2020. The year is 2020. And nothing interesting or outstanding happened that year. Okay, it's action fantasy, single player, multiplayer, cooperative side view. And it is not role-playing hack and slash. Side view, lock in. Yeah, side view is locked in, 1000%. There's a multiplayer mode and cooperative. What is this, like Nidhogg 2? That was 2017. That makes a lot more sense, actually. So we don't... It could be a fighting game. A fighting Fighting fantasy game? Maxi, get that one-time clue. You're so right. I'm burning it. Let's go. Thunder Lotus Games. It's a DNF? I don't think so. Grand Blue? It could be Grand Blue. Holy shit, is it Grand Blue? Grand Blue Fantasy Versus? Oh, the Thunder Lotus doesn't seem right to me though. That was Psy Games actually. It's not Fantasy Versus. So I'm thinking that this is either a very small indie fighting game with fantasy elements. I swear to God, if it's that game where Jesus Christ fights Gandhi, I'm gonna freaking lose my mind. It's not Soul Calibur because that would be Namco. Yomi? No, there's only Trek to Yomi. What about Hustle? No, we don't have Hustle either. The year's 2020. I want to guess a fighting game. I might know what it is. A fighting game from 2020. Street Fight, no. Thunder Lotus Games. You want it or no? Don't tell. No. Don't tell me. No. Don't spoil it for me. I want to get there. I might have it honestly. Do not follow. Duel. Oh, they don't even have the Mortal Kombat. No way. No. That was Warner Brothers. But I'll put Mortal Kombat in here. Mortal Kombat. Let's go with Mortal Kombat 11. It's not a fighting game. Okay. It was NetherRealm on WB, yeah. Can I at least give a hint? I'm on my last live. Give me one hint before we go and watch Ronnie streaming on twitch.tv/moontomes. Can I at least give a hint? That was my hint. Huh? Okay, it's not a hint. It's the same genre as Hollow Knight. Oh. Oh, okay, so a puzzle platformer fantasy game. Dale, I swear to God, if you just gave me the guess, I swear to God. Let me really quickly go to twitch.tv/moontomes. I believe Ronnie's streaming today. I believe my good friend Ronnie is streaming. My good friend Ronnie is in fact streaming today. My good friend Ronnie is playing Claire Obscure Expedition 33 today. I recommend you please go check them out. Let's do one more guess. Let's do one more guess. A Hollow Knight style game. Let's go with what's the name of that? Kitty, what's the name of the game that is like the one with the guy with the tall hat? Blasphemous, thank you, Kitty. Blasphemous 2. It was Spiritfarer. I was not gonna get there. I would not describe this game as the same style as Hollow Knight. I will be entirely honest with you. And I'm gonna slap Ronnie with a bunch of hearts across the face. There you go. It was a missed input. There you go. No, dude, it was lag. There were 3 frames of rollback. Dude, I was on the McDonald's Wi-Fi. Everyone have a lovely rest of your day. My friend Ronnie's streaming. Please go check them out. I put the link in the chat. Please go watch my friend Ronnie. And I'm out of here. Have a lovely rest of your day. I'll be back tomorrow playing a fun little game. And then we're doing a real design session on Thursday. Please don't miss it. I promise there will be 1,000 times less technical difficulties. Have a lovely rest of your day. And I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye. Beep boop.
Wonderful.
Hi Jada, bye Jada. By the way, chat, don't forget to, when this vote goes live, I had so many difficulties today. If you could do me a big favor and just leave a 5-star review in the comments. Leave a funny 5-star review in the comments. That's all I ask for you, okay? Take care. I love you all. Have a lovely rest of your day. Take care. Bye-bye. Beep.